Hi and welcome to this tutorial about rigging in Cat 3. A lot of people are wondering how to use the new rigging features in Cat 3 and yeah, I just hope that I can show you how to use these new features in general. So yeah, I've picked up a very old character here and updated the rig. So yeah, it's a low poly game character, but it's yeah, it has not been finished, and yeah, this is a simple, quite simple facial rig. You can see here the head bone, two eyebrows, two eyeball bones, four eyelids, upper and lower eyelids, and some mouth bones that are linked to the jaw. Um, yeah, so far this is a very simple setup. Um, there are just yeah, um, simple links with the link tool and Max. And yeah, now in Cat 3 we can use all Max controllers and everything in setup mode and not just in animation mode. So before Cat 3 you could only use the controllers in animation mode. So we are now in animation mode, and yeah, for example, you can go in here and put in anything here, noise controller or whatever, and yeah, he's doing um, yeah, the noise controller is only active in animation mode, and yeah, this does not allow us to make some general rigging in setup mode that affects all layers. So yeah, for example, when I use an absolute layer here and put in some controller, let's take a noise rotation to show you that this controller will be overwritten when you want to add another animation, or you want to create another animation, and this setup is lost, of course, because yeah, Cat of course uses the new controllers here from a new layer. So yeah, Cat 3 now, as I already said, allows custom setups in setup mode. And yeah, let me show you how to use this in general. Um, okay, let's take a look at the eyes. Do I have one selection set here? Just, yeah, I have. Okay, we have the eyes here. So, when I rotate the eyes, yeah, it's very stiff, everything, nothing is reacting here, eyelids are stiff, as you can see. And, yeah, let's say we want to have the eyelids rotating with the rotation of the eyeballs. So we can do that by wiring the eyelids to the eyeballs. Um, yeah, let's hide the mesh here, um, so we can see all the stuff better. Um, yeah, first of all, you have to go to HeroKey link info, and you will see that there are a lot of new options here added to Cat 3. The most important option here for custom setups is the animation controller. Um, yeah, you can add now you can choose now between static matrix. This is the default option like in CAD 2, and animation controller, which allows us to add custom controllers in setup mode. So yeah, we will need animation controller for all eyelets. So when I choose this now, before doing that, I will show you that in motion panel in the controller list, there are only the animation layers in it. Yeah, and when we now choose animation controller for this bone and go back to motion panel, you can see that a new layer has been added that is not visible in the layer manager. And this layer is the setup layer. And yeah, you can put in here. This is the setup mode layer. And yeah, you can put in here all the controllers as animation in like in animation mode too. Um, yeah, what we also need to do is activate the option additive to setup pose. So when I add a controller here, um, this option will assure that the controller will also be active in animation mode. So we can choose additive setup pose, and yeah, let's do that for all the eyelets. Okay. Good. Okay, now we have custom controllers, or we are able to add custom controllers to all the eyelets. And yeah, we can start wiring it now. And we need to wire the rotation to the eyelets to the rotation of the eyeballs. So the rotation of the eyelets are following with the eyeballs. Um, but when we do that now, um, it will not work as we would expect, because um, the um, the wiring will use, or the source rotation for of the eyeball will be the rotation controller of the setup mode, and this controller will not be animated at all. So only, yeah, we have to wire to the rotation of the whole layer stack. Yeah. So yeah, and this is possible by adding a expose transform helper. So this transform helper will just capture all the rotation data of the eyeball, irrespectively of any CAD layer system or anything. So let's choose yeah, expose transform helper and create it anywhere in the viewport. But yeah, I prefer to align it to the eyeball. And I will also link it to the eyeball. It doesn't matter, but yeah, I just want to have a clear setup here. So it will just follow the eyeball. But as I said, this doesn't matter. And we now choose here the eyeball as the expose node. And now what this expose transform helper does is capturing all the rotation data of the eyeballs. So when I pin the stack here and rotate the eyeball, you can see here that all the parameters, all the transformation data is being captured. Also, when I go to setup mode, uh, pin to animation mode. Now I'm in animation mode, and oh, I just this is at 0. I will just add another layer. These are, I forgot those layers. Okay, again, pin the stack, and yeah, we are in animation mode, and yeah, all the transformation data is still being captured. And this is exactly what we want to have. So we can now wire the rotation of the eyelets to the expose transform helper instead of the eyeball. So let's do that. Um, Animation, wireparameters, transforms, layer transform. And now we can see here that the setup layer is available. We choose rotation, Z rotation. And now we choose the expose transform helper and don't go to transform here because this is the normal transform data. We need the expose transform helper data, and yeah, it will not be visible for you here, but it is the local OLS that you need to take here. And yeah, we can now wire this direction connect. Okay. And now you can see that the orientation of the eyelet has been changed as I have yeah, connected this. And yeah, I will show you immediately what this why this is happening. Yeah, we can now see that the rotation is following, the Z rotation is following. You can also see here that yeah, this is kind of something. It's the first step. And yeah, when we go to animation mode, uh, yeah, this is completely broken because we have to update the setup pose because yeah, when when you switch from static matrix to animation controller, you have to update the setup pose as well. So simply delete this, add a new absolute layer, and that's it. And yeah, you can see here that the setup is also working in animation mode now, irrespectively uh, of what layer you're currently working in, as you can see. Okay. Um, Now back to the orientation issue here that occurred when connecting those parameters together. Um, of course, we don't want to have this orientation. We want to have this orientation like on the left side of the face. Um, as we have now a new controller here in setup mode and a subcontroller here, set rotation float wire. This is our wiring. Yeah, we cannot fix that orientation, but this is simple. That's a simple workaround. Um, you just use more of the max stuff and add a rotation list controller to the setup stuff. And go in here and add just another Euler X, Y, Z. So we can have now two of them. The first one is the one with the float wire in it, and the second one is yeah, is an empty one with Bezier floats in it that can be yeah, where you can fix this orientation. So when you go down here to the rotation list stuff and set this to active, you can double click or click set active. Yeah, and you can fix this orientation here. So we can align this to the original orientation, and that's it. Okay, and yeah, you can, to have a better overview, you can simply rename this to wiring, for example, and we could also rename this to offset or something, just to know where the stuff is. And yeah, of course, the setup is still working. It's just a rotation list controller, and the orientation is fixed. That's fine. Yeah, let's do the same thing for the lower eyelid now. Layer transform, setup, rotation, set rotation. Um, ah, let's find out if you can see what I will choose now. So once again, okay, expose. Yeah, perfect. Local Euler set. That's it. Um, yeah, connect it, and also add a rotation list controller. Add an order X, Y, Z to the sub controller here. Rename this, activate this, and fix the orientation. Okay, so now both eyelets are now following the rotation, the Z rotation of the eyeball. That's good. And yeah, we can make, it's too stiff now. We can simply, the lower eyelid needs to, um, doesn't rotate to 100% with the eyeball normally. Yeah, you can adjust the wiring to achieve a more natural resolution here. So the eyelets will just will only follow by 50%, for example. And if you want to have 50%, just divide this parameter here, this wiring here by 2, for example, update, and you need to fix the orientation again in setup mode. Oh, wait, hide this. Eyelet, okay. Yeah, and now, yeah, and now you can see that the lower eyelet is not following perfectly with the eyeball, which is much more natural. So the Z rotation is now fine, but as you can see, the Y rotation is still as stiff as it was before. So we can now go in here and, yeah, also wire the Y rotation. Connect. In this case, we don't need to fix any orientation because the Y rotation is at 0. Is already zeroed. Um, and yeah, let's do the same thing for our first wiring here. We have 2 wirings, of course, for two eyelets. So connect this as well. And yeah, now also the Y rotation is following. But this is also too stiff. So um, let's divide this by 2 as well. Update. Update. Yeah, this is already much better now. It has, yeah, it's a smooth thing now. But you can go on and improve this. You can also wire the X the X rotation as if you want. So for example, oh no, you can wire the X rotation of the eyelets to the Y rotation of the eyeball as well. So for example, when the eyeball is rotating to the left, the eyelets will rotate like that, for example. Yeah, you can improve that, but I think I don't need to show you everything now here. It's just about the general things as I as I already said at the beginning. And yeah, you can uh, you can also do similar things to yeah with the mouth, for example. This is this of course doesn't look very well here. You could mm, you could go on and do some wiring here for the yeah for the mouth bounce and do a complex mouth setup. There are unlimited possibilities now. And another cool thing about Cat 3 now is that you can, of course, you can save all this setup to the new rig system, to the RG3 format, to the new RG3 format that stores all the controller data you have put in the into the setup mode. And yeah, you can also add extra nodes to your cat rig, extra parts here. So you can, for example, you can add the mesh if you want and recreate the whole character with everything that belongs to the character, like mesh or helpers, the transform helpers I have used here. So yeah, I will show you how to do that. So for example, yeah, let's add the mesh and the transform helper, for example, and save this rig now. Test rig. This is a demo version. Okay, and yeah, we can now go on the test rig here, and yeah, the whole character is being recreated with all the setup ready to go. Yeah. And you can also update uh, older rigs. So, for example, yeah, let's say we have yeah, let's say a rig is not finished yet. The animator already wants to start with the animation, and the rigger updates the rig and yeah, providing new features or something like this setup here I have done. And yeah, you can update rigs with newer versions of the rigs. Even if even when there's already animation made for the rig. So, for example, when I remove the setup here, I just delete the transform helper or something, and yeah, whatever. I will remove the setup here. I will use Roller XYZ, so now there's no setup anymore. And let's say this is now an old version and we want to update this rig with a new version. So we can do that by simply double clicking here. So Cat has already updated the rig, and yeah, it's all ready to go. Um, so for example, when I have oh, let's go back again so we can show you this again. For example, let's do this again here. Remove our setup. Yeah, for example, when we already have some animation here, we have done an animation. And we now have a new rig. Yeah, we updated here. And yeah, the rig has been updated. The animation is still there, and as you can see, the setup is there. The outlet is moving correctly. And yeah, so instead of transferring the animation data to a new rig, we transfer the new rig to the animation data. So this is yeah, a very smart way to update um, to bring new rigging features to existing animations. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon. Bye.